AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Inside Out Smile. I'm your host Dr. Amber Q and today's episode is entitled Unsung Heroes. I think it's really important as we sort of live through this pandemic that we embrace all the people who are just being fantastic and just being wonderful. Now, of course, we know that doctors and nurses are just marvelous. I mean, they just really, really are. I had a sort of a Zoom conference call with a couple of friends the other day, and that included doctors in the UK and in the States. And, you know, my heart does go out to them. And I think, though, that we should recognise all the unsung heroes. We know that mothers in general are unsung heroes. And so if you're a mother and a nurse or a mother and a doctor, then, you know, double brownie points to you or triple brownie points to you. But equally, if you're working in a supermarket, if you are working in the supply chain somehow, you know, if you are the dustbin man, I think in the States they call them the garbage men, you know, I mean, honestly, it gives me so much joy when the dustbin men come to pick up my rubbish. I am just OCD about being tidy and I just love it when the rubbish is taken away. But, you know, what do? We just put the rubbish outside the door and then everyone else is doing the rest of the work. And I dread to think where it goes afterwards. But, you know, I do try to minimise my waste. But the point is that we all need each other. And I think that's one thing that the pandemic has shown us. And I was speaking to somebody today, to a colleague today, and he was telling me that his partners work in the supermarket, and you know, and he was saying that is there recognition for all of these other key workers? And I know there has been some talk about it, but he really got me thinking actually about that. And I thought to myself, do you know what? I think I would like to do a bit of a dedication to everyone out there who's doing their bit. And that's why this episode is entitled Unsung Heroes. And I think, you know, whether you are a vulnerable person who is staying indoors to take pressure off the health system, the healthcare system, wherever you are in the world, whether you're just somebody that has obviously had to narrow your lifestyle. You know, you've not been on holiday, you've just been abiding by all the regulations to protect others. Because as we know, whether it's wearing a mask or whether it is minimizing your trips outside of the home, whether it's not seeing your friends over the festive period and more, you know, all of these things, they are actually done as a sign of respect and love for humanity. It's a selfless action. And I think that everyone deserves, quite frankly, not just a pat on the back, but a big virtual hug, because everyone is being absolutely wonderful. We're very blessed here, certainly in the UK, that, you know, essentially there's so many countries in areas of conflict and oppression, and they go through so much, and we're so blessed here, and all we have to do is literally stay at home. I feel as if I'm almost in a time warp, because this is what we were saying in March, certainly in England, and we have just entered sort of this evening, or I think it might even be starting from midnight, a new national lockdown. I think this is our third one. I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you, I've just kind of been in lockdown from mid-May upon the advice of a dear friend who is a medic. And so we actually put our parents in lockdown before the government advised lockdown. And quite frankly, I've been in lockdown ever since then. So I do feel as if I'm in Groundhog Day, but I feel so grateful and just so appreciative, because we have so many blessings. And I just want everyone to be safe, and I just want everyone to feel that appreciation for everyone who's working hard. So whether you are a counsellor, and I know, yes, you, one of my dear friends, is a counsellor and is listening to this, so shout out to you. I'll preserve your anonymity, but shout out to you, because you've been working since the beginning of March, and then you've been caring for family members who've had COVID. So you're just a superstar, quite frankly. And I just think so many people are superstars. My parents are superstars because they've been very good as well. My sister's a superstar. I'm a superstar. Does that sound immodest? I don't know. But it's my podcast, so I think I'm entitled to say that. And my friends are superstars as well. I've got friends who've totally, been in isolation. People who've been literally alone. They've not had a pet. They have been alone since March. And I think we need to give a shout out to all these people. And I think that, we should all have a moment's appreciation for ourselves and for others who are doing the right thing. When I go out for my sort of daily constitutional walk, I'm avoiding people. I'm stepping to the side or crossing over the road or into the grass verge. And I know my neighbours are doing the same thing. And I just feel that it's a time to celebrate that we are all unsung heroes in our own way. It's all relative. It's all absolutely relative. We've got to do our bit. And our bit is going to protect somebody that we love. If we all do our bit globally over the entire world, then we are going to end up with a circle of life. We're going to end up protecting somebody along the lines, because, we're all just separated by, is it 6 degrees of freedom or whatever? But the point is, we're all connected to each other. We all affect each other's sort of lives. We know that even the slightest thing can change things across the world, because we've all seen the movie The Butterfly Effect. And if you haven't seen that movie, you should watch that movie, but brace yourself. But I think the thing is that it is true. We are all connected. It's a small world. We're all one big human race. And humanity needs to change its perception of who and what it is. And I think we need to care. We need to have compassion for ourselves before we can have compassion for others. And obviously this is the ethos of this podcast, that once we look after ourselves and are compassionate towards ourselves, then we're going to feel great. We're going to feel extraordinary, in fact. And that is when we're going to create connection with others. And that is when we are going to change lives. So this episode is it's the first one in 2021. And it is a massive shout out to everybody who is doing their bit. And you know what? Even if you are a cat who is sick of your owner just hanging around all the time, and if you're a dog, I have to say the pandemic I think is working out quite well for dogs, to be honest. I think it really is. It's working out for dogs, I think. So I salute you, dogs and cats. I mean, of course, I just love dogs so much. But I mean, cats as well. Kudos to you for putting up with humans. And dogs, finally, it's coming your way. And to be honest, your owners should be around as much as they can for you anyway, because your lives are just too short and you are too precious and too lovely and too loving. Gosh, don't get me on my soapbox. But at the end of the day, everyone is wonderful, unique and beautiful. And, you know, for all of those people that are doing their bit, I salute you. And for all of those people who can do better, I know you're going to do better, and you're going to really sort of watch your interactions out there in the world and minimize them, because we've all got to get rid of this virus. We really have. I think J-Lo said it in her New Year's Eve kind of extravaganza. My gosh, she's so beautiful. But she basically said we've lost so many. And that's true. One life lost is one life too many. So let's protect everybody out there. Let's all do our bit, okay? Let's all do our bit. And let's all just spare a thought for all of us and every one of us who's doing our bit, you know, who is actually out there working to fulfill that supply chain that brings us our food and our sort of nutrition and just our essential goods and services that we need. That's all I have to say for today. It's January, it's 2021. Happy New Year to everybody. And let's actually show ourselves what humanity can actually do, because it can do some amazing things, because we are amazing. So let's all just not get out there. Let's all stay indoors, feel extraordinary, create connection, and not just change lives, but save lives. Let's do that. Thank you.
AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.